Hey, what's up? My name is Solomon. I'm 26 years old, and I come from Washington, D.C. My parents are pastors, so they're pretty religious, but they're super cool. My dream is to be a superstar, so I moved to L.A. to pursue being a TikTok influencer, and it's been going pretty well for me. I lived in New York for a little bit, but after the pandemic, I wanted some more sunshine, so now I'm out in L.A. just kind of doing my thing and having a good time.
We all know that dating is the worst. There are so many apps, we get ghosted, and now we're in a pandemic, and no one has ever found their ideal match on a podcast until now. Hey everyone, I'm Tara Michelle, your host. Welcome to Blind Dating, a Spotify original from Parcast.
This episode is brought to you by V8. V8 is the original plant-powered drink, the one that started it all. It has electrolytes and antioxidants, but no added sugar. And at only 30 calories, the 5.5-ounce can is a perfect post-workout replenishment or satisfying snack. Choose V8 for big plant-powered goodness in one small can.
This episode is brought to you by 3M. 3M has always been driven to improve lives with science and innovation. It's this forward-thinking mindset that led 3M to invent household items you've come to know and love, like Post-it notes and command hooks. But 3M believes they have a responsibility to use their science to improve lives in even more ways. That's why they're responding to the COVID-19 crisis by working on solutions for some of today's biggest challenges. As a leading provider of personal protective equipment, 3M is producing critical products for healthcare workers and first responders, and donating to local and humanitarian aid partners around the globe. They're also making more respirators than ever before, with plants working around the clock, producing more than 95 million respirators per month in the U.S., helping those on the front lines continue the fight. 3M Science, applied to life. Learn more about how 3M is helping the world respond to the COVID-19 pandemic at 3m.com/COVID.
All right, let's bring in our main dater, Solomon. What's going on, Solomon?
What's up, Tara? How are you today?
Good, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm chilling. I'm really excited. Thank you for having me on your show. It's a real honor.
Thanks for being here. So I'm going to tell you how this thing is going to work. We'll set you up on a series of virtual dates with two strangers, but you can't see them. Their cameras are turned off and they won't turn them on until after you've made your choice. Your decision is based totally off of personalities. So with that being said, how are you feeling?
That's kind of scary because I don't like ugly girls, so if they're hideous but have a good personality, it's going to be very conflicting.
Whoa, okay. Let's give this a try then. All right, let's meet these awesome matches. First up is Devin. How's it going, Devin? Are you excited?
Hey, Tara, it's going great. I am super excited to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey everyone, my name's Devin. I'm 27. I live in Long Beach. I'm an alt girl who is super obsessed with cats and EDM music. The way I make my living consists of delivering groceries by day, and then I come home and write music, as well as audition for acting roles. Some of my hobbies include cosplaying, whether I'm cosplaying as gender-bend Deadpool, Riddler, or even a Nico, and filming way too many TikToks. Online dating hasn't really been my strong suit so far, but hey, I'm still here playing the cards I'm dealt, hoping that I can finally find my person.
Next up is Aylin. What's going on, Aylin?
Hey, Tara, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you feeling?
Pretty excited for this.
I love to hear it. Let's hear a little bit more about you.
All right, I am Aylin, 28 years old. I was born and raised in San Diego, but living up here in North Hollywood now. Currently going to school for film production to be a showrunner. Hopefully one of these days I'll get my own TV series and it fantasy adventure kind of thing. I love to play video games in my downtime. Haven't gotten a PS5 yet, but working on it. I love to also write fiction, fan fiction, fantasy, all that good stuff. I also love to just go out and explore and try new things. It's boring when you do the same thing over and over again. So I just like to try new things and just see what I can find.
Love it. Well, happy to have you here today.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
What are you feeling so far, Solomon?
I'm super excited. They both seem really cool for two different reasons. Like at first I was like, okay, Devin has really good answers. Islands is not going to be as good. And then Island talked and she had her own energy and vibe. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting and cool too.
All right, well, I can't wait to be a fourth wheel on all these dates with you. So let's do it. All right, everyone, it's time for the group date. We're going to play Never Have I Ever. I'll give you guys some fun Never Have I Ever questions, and each of you will respond. So here we go. Never have I ever shoplifted. Aylin?
I've never shoplifted before. I think the closest I ever got was taking money from my parents' wallet without them knowing.
I feel like everyone's done that at some point.
Right, I'm a goody two-shoes. I can admit it.
Devin, what about you?
I may have a confession to make. It's not really big, but during Black Friday, I was in Hot Topic and I had just bought all this stuff and was carrying my bag around. And I really wanted this really amazing looking nail polish. So I kind of sort of just tossed it in my bag.
Well, there's the tea.
Not the worst thing, but...
Solomon, have you ever shoplifted?
That's so funny. No, I've never shoplifted, but I made sure I kept friends around who did. So when they would get stuff, they got me stuff too.
Oh my God, so you're like secondhand shoplifting.
Kinda, sorta, but just enough where I don't get caught.
Okay, so you leave your friends out to get in trouble. It's fine.
Exactly, they're just giving me gifts. I don't know where they got them from.
Never have I ever gotten stitches. Devin, have you?
So I recently had oral surgery because I had an impacted canine in the roof of my mouth. So they literally had to cut into the roof of my mouth and break off the tooth bit by bit and get it out of my mouth and stitch me back up. I've had an interesting past.
That is a very scary visual. Like, I'm just picturing that and it sounds horrible.
It did heal quickly, luckily.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Aylin, have you?
I literally have stitches in my hand right now.
Oh my God, what happened?
Last week, I was being dumb in the kitchen, and just as I finished the thought, this is probably a really stupid idea, the knife slipped, and I stabbed it straight between my fingers into my hand.
Ouch! Oh my God!
Yeah, there was a nice gaping hole there. It was pretty fun, pretty interesting.
Ouch!
Yeah, so I have 4 stitches in right now. The stitches are coming out tomorrow.
Oh, I'm very happy for you. That's good. Solomon, have you gotten stitches?
No, I've never had stitches. Those are so crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here's a fun one. I'm curious to hear. Never have I ever had a paranormal experience. Devin, have you had any paranormal activity?
So I was young and it was early in the morning and I was sleeping and I woke up and there were windows right at the foot of my bed. And so it kind of gave like a eerie morning glow in the room. And there was a silhouette right in front of me because the light was very low and I couldn't see. All I could see was a silhouette of a figure just sitting on like a dresser at the end of my bed. And I froze and I couldn't say anything. And I was just like, and I managed to like squeak out the words like mom, because I was sharing a room with my mom at the time. And the figure cocked its head to the right. It like cocked its head and then stood up and walked out of the room. I sprang out of the bed, opened the door, and there was nothing there. I kid you not, this is a real story. And I haven't been able to forget about it since.
I have full body chills right now. I am so uncomfortable thinking about this. That's horrible.
I told my mom, she's like, oh, you probably just had a dream. I'm like, Mom, it wasn't a dream. I jumped out of my bed.
That is so scary. So scary. Oh my God. That is insane. Aylin, have you had any kind of paranormal experience?
I want to experience something so badly, and I haven't yet.
Okay, but would you want Devin's experience? Like, would you want that?
Honestly, I would probably take it.
To know from me, man.
I mean, okay, so I was driving up to Northern California one time for a film shoot, and we stopped in this haunted town where the most notorious ghost sighting there was the lady in white, who actually ended up being the mayor's wife, who was also a midwife, who died in a buggy crash when she was racing across town to help with the birth or whatever. Like, we looked up the history and everything. So we were there on the anniversary of her death, found her tombstone, and we're there and like we're calling out to her like she's sighted all the time. It's her the anniversary of her death, and we're like, please, like, just show yourself, or like make some sort of let us know you're here. And we were practically begging her, and there was nothing. And I'm just like, I want to see something so badly.
Unreal. What a shame. Maybe next time she'll make an appearance.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Solomon, have you had a paranormal experience?
I have paranormal experiences all the time. My parents are pastors, so they do exorcisms all the time. So I kind of just grew up normally with my mom speaking in tongues and like talking to angels. And so like when she talked about the demon on her bed, that's something that actually happens all the time. And the thing is, people who have that, they're called schizophrenic. But the thing is, you can either go to a spiritualist or like a priest, or you can go to a psychologist. And either one has to say like either this person really is seeing what they believe or this person's crazy. So that happens a lot of times, that people are having spiritual experiences but aren't believed by people around them, and they get locked up in like crazy conservatorships like Britney Spears or something like that.
Have you ever seen anyone that's been possessed?
Well, if you want to be honest, you do all the time. When you watch Lady Gaga or when you watch a Beyonce, they take on an energy, like they always say, an alter ego. But an alter ego is just an alternative energy that they feel more comfortable embodying on stage.
Interesting perspective.
I appreciate that.
Well, that was definitely fun and very interesting. Absolutely living for this. But let's get on to the one-on-one dates. All right, Aylin's in the waiting room, and it's time for Devin and Solomon's one-on-one date. Solomon, this is your chance to see if your values align with Devin's. You came prepared with some questions that are important to you for your ideal partner, so go ahead and ask those questions.
Hey, Devin, what's up? How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Good. So my first question to you is, do you believe in God?
So I definitely believe in a higher power. I believe in energy. I don't like to call it God, though, personally. I believe that it takes on the form of, many names. It just depends on the person or the perceiver. So for me, I like to call it the source or the universe. It's just kind of the all-encompassing one energy that is connected to all of us.
That's really fascinating. I like your answer, and I feel like that'd be good to just kind of hear your values and like hear my values and come to like a new understanding, maybe.
Yeah, it's really, your past is equally as fascinating to me as well, so.
Okay, so my last question for you is, what is something about yourself that you don't like?
Something about myself that I don't like. Well, for one thing, I can be a little bit of a procrastinator. Not proud to admit that, but I tend to be a little bit more rebellious than I sometimes can keep up with, even with myself. So I'll go through these series of I'll have weeks where I'm super on and I'm getting everything done. And then I'll go through other weeks where I literally make out a schedule for myself, and then it comes up and I purposely go against the schedule just because I don't like to tie myself down or control myself too much. It's kind of a weird back and forth that I play with myself, but I would like to be a little bit more organized as far as just my productivity throughout the day. But I also fly along my passion, and I like to plan things out, but then I'm also really good at adjusting, because you can plan life as great as you can, but when you're in the present moment, you can only do so much when things don't go that way that you thought, that you previously planned. So it's up to you to just kind of navigate your way through each day and do the best you can.
That's awesome. You're so open and honest about that. And that's what I was looking for. Thank you for being so vulnerable with me.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking it on.
Yeah.
Okay, Devin, you're going to go into the waiting room, and we're going to bring in Aylin for her one-on-one date with Solomon. All right, Aylin, Solomon has some very important questions to see if your values align. Solomon, take it away.
Hey, Aylin, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just chilling. I have a few questions for you if you don't mind answering for me.
Go for it. I'm an open book.
So, my first very, very interesting question is, how do you feel about keeping up with the Kardashians?
It is very fun to watch, for sure. I respect the business side of the Kardashians. I don't necessarily respect them very much as people, but it's just It's a train wreck you can't look away from. And I love watching it just because you can't look away.
Thank you for being honest. You know, people would have been like, oh, I don't know that show, but it's everybody's guilty pleasure. I mean, they wouldn't be on this long for no reason, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so my last and final question for you is, in your past, why do you think your relationships have not worked out?
I'm told I tend to be distant, which I don't necessarily agree with, but apparently it comes across that way because I've had it more than once. I tend to be a logical person. And I feel like emotions tend to get in the way of things and they become irrational and arguments get out of control because both parties are being so irrational and emotional. So I like to take a step back and let logic dictate and like really look at the situation as opposed to just straight up arguing and yelling. I feel like that gets nowhere. But people take that as I'm cold and I don't care very much. So that has been a downfall for me for sure.
Thank you for being so open and honest. So you would say you're more so of an introvert?
Kind of an ambivert.
Okay.
I need my alone time to recharge, but I also need people around me to energize. So I need a bit of both.
Right.
But I have an introspection where I want to make sure that if I'm going to argue a point, I want to make sure it's the correct point. And if someone's going to argue with me, I want them to make their point and I want to be able to listen. Where if both sides are yelling, no one's listening and it's going nowhere, so nothing gets solved. So I would rather just kind of take a step back, breathe, relax, think through the situation and the issues and be able to actually discuss it.
I agree. That's communication is key to everything.
For sure.
Okay, and with that, the one-on-one dates are over. Aylin, I'm going to put you back into the waiting room while I chat with Solomon.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Solomon, how are you feeling after asking your questions?
I'm feeling conflicted because I like them for two different reasons. One of them seems like a really good energy, like really fun time, and we just kind of flow, which is cool, but then it's like, do you want another yourself in a relationship? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you want somebody who's just like you? You know what I mean? And it's like, you know what I mean? That's the easy route. And with the other one was a lot more just kind of like, you know, like a book, like something where you got to keep digging and then you be like, that's fascinating. So I don't know. They both have good reasons to choose each of them.
For sure. You have two really great girls here. I don't even know how you're going to decide.
I don't either.
Coming up, we'll find out Solomon's choice. Will it be Devin or will it be Aylin?
The internet. What would we do without it?
So much information, so little time. And yet, with all the answers available online, there still lie scores of deep, dark, spooky secrets.
Mysteries yet to be solved until now. This isn't clickbait. This is our exclusive new podcast, Internet Urban Legends. I'm Loie, your evidence expert.
And I'm Eleanor, the self-proclaimed skeptic. Together, we're the gruesome twosome, sleuths in search of the weirdest stories on the web.
Every Tuesday, we investigate the internet's creepiest conundrums, covering each conspiracy theory and combing through every clue to separate hoax from haunt.
Whether it's the video sure to make you lose your appetite, Blank Room Soup,
or every kid's worst nightmare, the terrifying truth behind Disney's deaths.
Or every parent's worst nightmare, social media's Momo challenge.
Each episode of Internet Urban Legends is chock full of disturbing details which are either truly demented or ripe for debunking.
And no matter our conclusion, we're sure to be left scared half to death. So won't you join us?
Follow our new Spotify original from Parcast, Internet Urban Legends. Listen free and exclusively on Spotify.
This episode is brought to you by Odoo. Running a business is hard, but who says you have to do it alone? With Odoo's suite of business applications, you can streamline, automate, and simplify any part of your company. They've got apps for CRM, accounting, e-commerce, manufacturing, you name it. Each app is user-friendly, intuitive, and fully integrated, so you can stop wasting time and start growing your business. Productivity awaits with Odoo. For a free trial, go to odoo.com/Spotify. That's odoo.com/Spotify.
Welcome back. When we left off, Solomon had just had his one-on-one dates with Devin and Aylin. We've got everyone back in the room now, and it's time to get down to it. Solomon, which of these two matches are you going to choose?
This is a really, really, really hard choice. And so in my life, I have to make a difficult decision. Like, I wanted to choose Devin because you seem a lot like me, but that's also why I don't want to choose you, Devin. So my choice is going to be Aylin.
Okay, well, there's our answer. Devin, we had so much fun with you today. Could you turn your camera on really quickly so we could say goodbye?
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I like your hair color.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you're really pretty. I'm sorry I didn't choose you.
No, that's okay. I had a lot of fun talking to you and just getting to know you. And I just really appreciate you being here. And I wish you all the best.
Thanks.
On your awesome journey.
And you seem special. You're going to find someone much better than me. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, Solomon, I know it was hard to send someone away, but it's just us in here now. So paint us a little picture. What did Devin look like?
So Devin looked like a little bit like the lead singer from Paramore. Like she had like Paramore vibes. She seemed like you would see her maybe at like a Marilyn Manson concert, but like a friendly one. Like she's not scary. Like she'd be like the nice one in the crowd. Like, oh, okay, like probably by herself. And she seems very, very intelligent. She has like really pretty skin. She looks like she knows how to do her makeup well. Her hair is kind of in a bob. Nice straight hair, is red. She had a great smile and she had really, really innocent eyes.
All right, guys, the time is finally here. You guys are going to turn your cameras on so you can finally see each other. On 1, 3, 2, 1.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Cool. I like your background.
Thanks. I like it too. The mountains.
So let me see your hand.
My hand? Oh, it's... I don't know if you can see that very well.
Oh, so I thought it was going to be really bad, but the story was bad, but that looks not that bad.
This is like a week and a half later, so the stitches are coming out tomorrow.
Did you cry?
No.
I would have. That's kind of, I mean, like you're a film artist, you have to hold a camera with that.
I'm usually in front of the screen or in front of the camera, so...
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, I've still got some questions for you both, so we're going to chat separately a little bit more. Okay, Solomon, we've put Aylin into the waiting room, and we want to hear your honest thoughts.
I think she's really pretty and charming, and she has kind of Jennifer Aniston energy, if that makes sense. Like somebody who just comes across, like when you first meet them, you're like, yeah, sure, you can just hang out at my house and, here's my keys or whatever, Like they seem very like just a good human being.
Describe her physically for us. What did she look like?
Physically, she kind of looked like, let me see, she had short brown hair. She... Like when you've seen her, maybe like she wouldn't stand out initially, but she's very cute. Like she's not ugly at all, but she's just very like innocent. You know what I mean? Just very like church girl, which is cool, which I like.
Are you into that?
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, great. Okay, we're gonna chat with Aylin a little bit too. So I'm gonna put you into the waiting room just for a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, Aylin, since you've now finally seen Solomon, tell us what he looks like physically.
He is nice and dark. I like him dark. Very, very long, it looks like. He has a longer face, long neck. What I could see of him was like shoulders up. So, but nice and long. He had a pretty good smile. It was enjoyable for sure.
Yeah, it's cute. Are you feeling some vibes here? You can be honest. It's just us, so.
There are things that are interesting and things that I'm not so sure of.
Anything in particular?
He just seems like he's in it for the... Trying to think of how to articulate this.
For the clout?
Yeah, in a way. Just he was saying things, like that. I don't like ugly girls kind of just threw me off a little bit.
Very fair. Fair enough. Right at the beginning, he threw that out there.
Which, I mean, I appreciate the honesty and, you have to have that physical attraction. I understand that. But just the way he said it just kind of threw me off.
Appreciate your honesty, honestly. Okay, well, we're going to bring Solomon back really quickly because we have one final thing we have to take care of. All right, we've got everyone back in the room. So this is going to get a little weird, but we have one more decision to make. And Aylin, this one's for you.
All right.
I'm just going to tell it like it is. You can either choose a social distance date with Solomon, or you can choose to be on a future episode of Blind Dating, where we'll set you up with 2 new matches. So what's it going to be?
I'm sorry, Solomon, but I got to go for the future episode. You're super nice, and I enjoyed getting to meet you, but I think there are just a few differences between us that just wouldn't mesh very well.
I agree, and I hope you find somebody who fits you.
So sorry, Solomon. Dating is definitely hard, but you're such an interesting person, and I'm sure you're going to find somebody special for you.
I have no doubt either. You too, Tara.
Thank you. And thanks to both of you for being here. And Aylin, I can't wait to speak to you soon.
Yeah, see you next time.
See you next time. Thanks for listening to Blind Dating. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Parcast and on Twitter at Parcast Network. For more episodes of Blind Dating, follow us on Spotify and check out other Parcast shows, all available on Spotify or anywhere you listen to podcasts. I'm your host, Tara Michelle. Tune in next week for a new romance or a total rejection. Want to try your luck at finding your perfect match? Or do you have a single friend looking for love? Just go to parcast.com/blinddating to submit yourself or nominate someone to be on Blind Dating. You can also email blind-dating-casting@spotify.com and tell us a little bit about yourself. Can't wait to hear from you, and good luck! Blind Dating is executive produced by Max Cutler and is a Spotify original from Parcast. It was created by John Cohen, sound design by Kristen Acevedo with associate sound design by Juan Borda. It's produced by Kristen Acevedo and John Cohen. It's associate produced by Alex Trickfadatir. Production assistance by Ron Shapiro. And I'm your host, Tara Michelle.